Judge Scolds' black nurse in scrubs, but her bold response makes the entire room applaud. The courtroom smelled of polished wood and stale coffee, a place where justice was supposed to breathe, but often choked under the weight of human flaws. Amara Johnson stood at the defendant's table, her navy scrubs slightly wrinkled from a 12-hour shift at Mercy General. Her hands, still faintly scented with antiseptic, clasped tightly together. She was a black nurse, 34, with eyes that carried the exhaustion of saving lives and the fire of someone who'd fought too many battles to back down. The judge, a man with a face carved from years of rulings, glared down at her. His voice boomed, sharp and unforgiving. "Ms. Johnson, your actions were reckless, unprofessional, and a disgrace to your profession." Judge Harold Grayson's words sliced through the room. The gallery filled with reporters, hospital staff, and curious locals shifted uneasily. Amara's heart pounded, but her face remained steady. She wasn't here for a crime of violence or deceit. She was here because she dared to speak up, dared to challenge a system that had turned a blind eye to a patient's suffering. It started 3 weeks ago in the ER. Amara had been tending to a young black man, Jamal Carter, brought in with a fractured arm and a story that didn't add up. He was 19, nervous, his eyes darting like a trapped animal. The police officer who'd brought him in claimed Jamal had resisted arrest. But the bruises on his torso told a different story. Amara's gut twisted. She'd seen this before. She documented every injury, every inconsistency. And when the hospital tried to rush Jamal's discharge to avoid complications, she refused to stay silent. She filed a formal complaint, accusing the officer of excessive force and the hospital of negligence. That choice landed her here, facing charges of insubordination and defamation, pushed by a hospital board desperate to save face. The judge's scolding grew louder. "You think you're above protocol, Ms. Johnson? You've smeared the reputation of a respected institution and an officer of the law." His gavel hovered, ready to punctuate his disdain. The room felt smaller, the air heavier. Amara's lawyer, a young public defender named Lila Chun, whispered, "Stay calm. We'll get through this." But Amara wasn't looking for calm. She was looking for truth. She stepped forward, her voice steady but laced with a quiet fury. "Your Honor, may I speak?" The judge's eyes narrowed, but he nodded, more out of curiosity than permission. Amara took a breath, her scrubs a stark contrast to the suits around her, a symbol of her life's work. "I didn't choose to be here. I didn't choose to risk my job, my license, or my future. But I couldn't stand by while a young man was sent back into harm's way, ignored because of his skin color, his zip code, or the assumptions people make about him. I've spent my life saving people black, white, rich, poor. But when I saw Jamal's bruises, I saw my brother, my father, my community. I saw a system that picks and chooses who gets justice." The gallery murmured. A reporter scribbled furiously. Judge Grayson's face tightened, but Amara didn't stop. "You call my actions reckless? I call them necessary. The hospital wanted me to shut up, to sign off on a discharge that would have buried the truth. The officer wanted me to ignore the marks on Jamal's body. But I'm a nurse. My job isn't just to heal bodies, it's to fight for what's right. Even when it's hard, even when it costs me everything." The room was silent, the weight of her words settling like dust after a storm. Then, from the back, a voice broke the quiet. "She's right." Heads turned. An older white woman, maybe 60, stood up, her hands trembling but her voice firm. It was Margaret Hayes, a retired nurse who'd worked at Mercy General decades ago. No one expected her to be Hareshed, slipped in quietly, unnoticed until now. "I saw it too," she said, her eyes locked on Amara. "Back in my day, we were told to stay quiet too. Patients like Jamal were swept under the rug. I regret every day I didn't speak up. Amara's doing what I couldn't. The twist of Margaret's confession hit the room like a spark. Whispers erupted, and even Judge Grayson's stern mask faltered. Margaret's voice, raw with the pain of years unspoken, gave Amara's fight a new weight. It wasn't just one nurse's battle, it was a chain of silences broken. A history of wrongs demanding to be righted. Amara seized the moment. Your Honor, I'm not asking for your pity. I'm asking for fairness. If I'm guilty of anything, it's of caring too much, of refusing to let a young man's pain be erased. If that's a crime, then I'll stand here and take the punishment. But I won't apologize for doing what's right. The gallery erupted in applause, a wave of sound that drowned out the judge's gavel as he tried to restore order. Reporters' pens flew across their notebooks. Lila Chen's eyes shone with pride. Even the bailiff, a stoic man who'd seen countless trials, gave Amara a subtle nod. Judge Grayson, for the first time, looked uncertain. He cleared his throat, his voice softer now. Ms. Johnson, your passion is noted. This court will take your statement under advisement. We'll reconvene tomorrow. As the gavel fell, Amara felt a weight lift. She wasn't free, not yet, but she'd been heard. The crowd filed out, some offering her quiet words of support, others staring in awe. Margaret approached, her eyes misty. You're braver than I ever was, she said, squeezing Amara's hand. Don't stop. Amara nodded, her throat tight. She hadn't expected an ally, let alone one whose own regrets mirrored her fight. Outside, the sun was setting, casting a warm glow over the courthouse steps. Jamal was there, his arm in a cast, his mother beside him. Thank you, he said simply, his voice cracking. Amara hugged him, feeling the weight of his trust, his survival. She'd lost her job, maybe her career, but she'd gained something deep, a reminder that one voice, one stand, could ripple through a community. The next day, the judge dismissed the charges, citing insufficient evidence of malice. The hospital issued a public apology, promising an investigation into Jamal's case. Amara didn't get her job back, but she didn't need it to keep fighting. She started a community health initiative, training young nurses to advocate for patients, especially those the system overlooked. Margaret joined her, sharing stories that bridged past and present, turning pain into purpose. Amara's stand wasn't just a moment, it was a movement. It reminded people that justice isn't handed down. It's demanded, fought for, and sometimes won in the quiet courage of one person refusing to stay silent. Her story spread, not just in headlines but in conversations, in classrooms, in hearts. What do you think? When is it right to risk everything for justice, and when does silence do more harm than good?